how, like, out of nowhere, I mean, he came out of his shell when he got here, and just such a great guy.
Such a great guy.
Yeah.
And here's another great guy, too.
Speaking of a great guy, yes.
Speaking of,
DeAndre, Mark, Followill.
I walked into this one. What's up, guys?
We were told we got the heads up that here's a really great guy.
It's the
You
moment
guys got
where
all the Dirk's different haircuts up here. This is
you
nice.
like that?
Yeah.
I mean,
I like
20
the long
years.
hair Dirk.
20 years, man. There's a lot of
A lot
haircuts
of
there.
haircuts. At least there's still hair.
That's a good thing.
Right, yes.
That's a
yes.
positive.
Yeah, he's never had to worry about that.
Well, much like we had to do with Ryan Brokoff earlier, we get a chance to meet and interview DeAndre at the same time. So I'm Mark. I do our TV broadcast. This is Chuck. He does our radio broadcast.
Yes,
it's a pleasure to have you here. It's good things come to those who wait, and we have waited.
3 years.
Now, my friends,
3 years
you
for
are
this
here.
moment.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, man. Finally. Wesley Matthews gives me a tough time about it every time I see him. I'm here. I'm here. But I'm extremely excited to finally be here, man. I knew once I was a free agent again that it was going to be a no-brainer, and I'm really excited to get with these guys. We got a great group of guys who are, I think, great character guys and who really want to work hard on both ends of the floor to be successful, and I think that's what we're going to do.
You've been a teammate, I think, of a few of these guys, a couple of guys probably in the past. You've obviously competed against a lot of them for a lot of years. But getting to know them in this environment, you just talked about character. You knew they were great character guys, but I'm sure you're learning more and more positive things about them now that you've been around them.
I knew that these guys were all great, playing against a lot of them. Harrison and I were teammates on the Olympic team in 2016. And I played against Dirk for the past 10 years.
Sure.
So you glad you don't have to chase him out there anymore?
Yeah, and I'm glad I'm not going to get into foul trouble guarding. I'm glad we're teammates now. But I think I'm super excited, man. It's these guys, just hanging out with them, going to dinners and talking to these guys, texting them, seeing them every day at the practice site, gelling on the court has been great, and I know we're gonna shock a lot of people this year. I'm excited.
And I think that's sort of the feeling that this day naturally brings out the ultimate in optimism. But given what's happened the last 2 years, and you saw it playing against the Mavericks. I mean, there were a few games that the Mavericks played against your team, right, where you guys left that night wondering like what just hit us.
Right. Yeah. You see a lot of flashes of greatness in this team, but we want to definitely be consistent in that, and that starts with our defense, and that's going to be big for our team, being a tough, grind hard, gritty team defensively. We have the depth and the guys to do it. So we just have to focus on that and do it. And then offensively gel, man. Our team is so deep and we have so many guys who can make plays and defend. I'm really excited about it.
Now, I was going to say, coming into the free agent period, people were saying about DeAndre Jordan. Well, his defense wasn't as good last year as it was in previous years. So from your standpoint, and that was kind of a chaotic situation you were in for a lot of last year, just around the team. I mean, from your standpoint, how much was it just the people were coming in and out of there, and just the fact that he's 30 years old now. Right. He can't be as good as he was 22.
I mean, we'll just have to see. You know what I mean? You'll see on the floor. But for me, last year obviously we had a lot of moving pieces. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of different lineups, trades. But that's definitely no excuse. We had a lot of different schemes and whatnot. But with this roster, with guys like Wes, Harrison, Dennis.
You feel like you could be the old DeAndre, well, not the old DeAndre, but the normal DeAndre, the defensive player of the year DeAndre.
Yeah,
Jordan.
Dorian. We got a lot of guys who can defend, so I feel like with all 5 guys on the floor, we're going to be a really good defensive team. And for me, just being able to guard guards, protect the rim, rebound the basketball, those are things that I love to do, and those are things that I put my stamp on, and those will be even better this season.
You said with this roster, and I would also add another thing to point out on this page is when you get below the roster, this name, head coach Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but obviously a big part of Rick's system is having a hard rim-rolling center and a rim protector at the 5 on defense. What do you know about your what can you share with us about your past personal interactions with Rick and how much you're looking forward to being in the system?
Rick's been great. We hung out a few times in L.A. He came out there and for some of my workouts, and I know how vital the center position is for the Mavericks. Obviously, a championship was won here with a great center, Tyson, and the center's been very important. Rolling to the basket, drawing double teams, drawing pulls for dunks and/or kick-out threes and open jump shots. But you just look at the centers that they've had in the past, and they've all been very successful when they've come here. Like Brandon Wright has been successful. Nerlens Noel has been pretty good for this team. Zaza was really good for this team. So when you go down that line, if you do your job every night as a center, and sacrifice for these guys, then you're going to be great and the team's going to be great.
All right, so a follow-up question to something that you said earlier. When you first sat down here, you said when you got into free agency, it was going to be a no-brainer about coming here. Sitting here talking with you for 5 minutes, it's obvious, man, you're excited and you've got a super positive energy about you right now. But as you look back, and I think about the fact that, hey, man, when the first time you came back and on the TV broadcast, I'm sure I was leading the charge. We got to boo this guy tonight when he gets back here, man. So, but you're here and you seem so super positive about it. What about Dallas and the Mavs and the organization and the fans, whatever it is? You had some tough times here with how the reception was, but you are so positive about being here. What allowed you to maintain such a good view of the Mavs that you would say it's a no-brainer to sign? Because
it was a place that I really thought in my heart I wanted to be 3 years ago, and I knew that I really wanted to be here. There was just some things I needed to iron out. But for me as a player, these fans have been amazing, and I've been on the opposite side of that.
Sure.
So, and the Maverick fans for life, they are really that. No matter if the team's up 20, down 20, they're going to cheer and boo until the last buzzer. And that's something that a culture that you want to be a part of as a player, as a fan, as a coach, whatever it is, you want to be a part of that. And my teammates have been nothing but open with me, and they've welcomed me, and it's been great, and I'm really excited to be here.
I think that's cool. There's something to be said for being on the opposite side of it, because you do learn about the passion, and there is something to be learned out of that.
They're very passionate, man, and I'm obviously a Texas guy from Houston, right down the street. Went to Texas A&M.
Whoop.
So there you go. so these guys in this city, this organization, Rick, Mark, Donnie, they've all been amazing. And,
awesome.
I can't wait to play.
So you said a no-brainer to come back.
Right.
The fact that they came back to you.
Right.
3 years after the fact. And you said you had some things that you had to clean up. And we're not going to, retell the entire story here. But what did you feel that you had to? What ultimately kept you from this love that you clearly feel for the franchise? That for whatever reason, that it's all been cleared up so that you can come.
I'm a big loyalty guy. I'm a big family guy, and I felt that there was unfinished business and something that I felt like we could achieve with the Clippers when I was there. Mm-hmm. We had a great nucleus of guys with Blake and Chris and JJ and Jamal and those guys. So I felt like there was something that we could do there. Obviously, we were short. We came up short a few years, but I wanted to try to finish it, try to finish it out, to try to get over that hump with those guys, and it obviously didn't happen. So I knew what I wanted to do, and it was come here with these guys, with Dennis, with Luka, with Dirk, with Harrison, with Wes, and be successful here.
I'm sorry, Coop, but we've heard, when we talk to Wes on media days, our fans have heard Wes and have heard Harrison and they've heard Dirk in the past. There's always positive and good energy and enthusiasm and excitement at media day about how successful that you can be. Your voice is a different perspective on it when you sit down here. So I would love to hear you tell us and tell the people that are watching on the live stream, what is it that makes you have a positive energy and a positive viewpoint of what this team can accomplish this year, coming from your perspective? Because we've seen flashes of success with this team for years. Rick came out with a stat this morning and said, in 50 games, 5 minutes or less, the score has been within 5. Yeah. And I'm sure in those teams there's been good teams, there have been average teams, there's been great teams that we've been right there with. We just have to get over that hump. And I feel like with these guys, with Dennis going into his second year, he's going to be an even better, even smarter player. Luka's going to be great. So just the nucleus that we have
all the way down the line, 1 through 15, I feel like this is a place where you can be successful. And what's important here, like I said before, the center position is going to be very vital. So for me, that was very big in my decision making.
So I know you haven't spent that much time around Luka, but what has it been like to play with him?
It's been great. It's been
Look
great.
at this smile, man.
Wow.
I am extremely excited to play with this guy. He's a big guard. He's very smart. His basketball IQ is very high. He sees a lot of things before they happen. He's a great passer. Just us playing 5-on-5, you can kind of see. And we weren't friends before, but me just setting picks for him and rolling to the basket, he sees you when you don't think he sees you. And the same with Dennis and playing with JJ and Devin. Those guys have been great floor generals and great passers in the past.
I mean, I get it. I mean, not to throw everything like too far ahead of everything, but does he remind you in any way of a bigger Chris Paul?
Luka?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, man. Chris obviously is a Hall of Fame great point guard in this league, but Luka he's amazing and he's big. He's a 6'7" guard with handle. He can go both ways. He can shoot the basketball, and he wants to get everybody involved in passing the basketball. So I think for all of us, we just got to have our hands ready, man. It's gonna be a great year.
Getting a chance to know you a little bit better, DeAndre, as you reflect on now a decade in the league, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your perspective on your story, because you were a second-round pick. You didn't play a lot your first couple of years with the Clippers as you kind of learned the league and learned the position. And then obviously there's been a ton of success along the way. So I'm curious if it was a particular approach that you had, teammates that were great mentors, coaches that were great mentors, as you reflect on a decade of success in the league. What brought DeAndre Jordan from second-round pick to a guy who's been a first-team All-NBA player?
I think just that. Being a second-round pick is definitely you come in the league with a chip on your shoulder, and you want to be successful. My first 2 years, it was very tough trying to learn the game and get the NBA game to slow down. But I had great vets around me. I had vets like Marcus Camby, Chauncey Billups, Grant Hill, guys who were able to show me the way. And then I had a great coach in Doc who really, I felt, gave me a chance and let me play through mistakes and was very confident in me. So when you have a coach who's backing you, who's calling the shots, and who's confident in you as a player, you're that much more confident in yourself. And I feel like that paved the way for me.
Very good.
It is great to have you here.
It's great to be
3
here.
years.
Man.
Hey, 3 years late. It's okay. It's really, really okay.
I'm never going to get tired of seeing that smile,
No,
man. I love it.
Never
Thank you
ever.
guys, man.
Great to have
so
you here.
much.
Can't wait to call dunks and go nuts.
There we go.
Absolutely. Oh, and by the way, one other thing, he's going to be a three-point shooter here, because American Airlines Center is the place where DeAndre has made a three. Picked it up. Rick didn't give me permission to tell him to give him the green light for that. But
Yeah,
you did.
don't tell him. Don't tell him yet.
But you did. No, for real. The ball rolled out to you into the shot clock. I don't think I'm telling you anything you've forgotten about.
I was going to shoot it. And once I let it go, I was like, if this goes in, I'm going to go berserk. That's what happened, man. It was bottom, and I looked at Dirk, and I was like, yeah.
I'm coming for you, big guy. DeAndre?
Was that part of the? Was that one of the?
Well,
Was that
that
the 27-25? Was that the 27-25 rebound game?
I thought that was a different game.
Was it a
honestly.
different game?
There have been so many games.
Yeah, he's had. Well,
The guy's having like 27-25 and hitting threes here.
Well, that's the other thing, though. He's had a lot of really good games.
I love this arena. I love this arena.
And that's it. You know what? And we would hear visitors always say that this was always one of their favorite places to play. Just the lighting and whatever it was just really good to play.
Amazing arena. Great fans. I'm super excited.
Well, I said it on TV several years ago, so I want to say to all the MFFLs watching, I said boo several years ago. Now on October 20th, I'm saying cheer this man.
It's all
yes,
yay.
man. I want the loudest pop in the arena that night for DeAndre.
Yes,
so
sir. Thank you
great having you.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Yes, all the best.
Really
yes, you got it.
Yes, sir.
DeAndre Jordan with us here, and that is our last interview of the day. And you know what, man? That is a good.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah, not that we're going to be done in the next 60 seconds or anything. I'm sure we have a few thoughts, and maybe Bobby might want to jump on again and kind of wrap up the day, but.